Hello, dear viewer. I welcome you to this video, and I hope that you are in good health. You are doing great in your job, in your career. If you're a student, then you are doing good in your school. So, yeah, this is my wish. And in this video, I will try to explain to you the real nature of life, and also that in which areas do we live in our lives. What I mean to say is that we consider that we live in this world, but there are alternate worlds in which we live. So after watching this video, you will be very clear about the other worlds other than the world that we know, in which we do something. We wake up in the morning, we go to school, we go to college, we do our stuff, and then we enjoy in parties, restaurants. This is the kind of life that sums up the way in which we live. But the other worlds which are unknown to us, which are in the hindsight, in the blind sight, these worlds will be uncovered by you, or at least some direction will be there with you, so that you can uncover those other worlds. So let me introduce myself to you. I am Sambhav Gupta. I am an MBA by education, and currently I am not doing anything professionally, but I devoted a lot of my time in understanding Upanishads. Upanishads are the foundation scriptures in Hinduism, which tell us about the ultimate meaning of life, the ultimate reality of life. So I try to read those books, and I try to implement those things in my life. And some beautiful changes have happened after I realized the teachings of these scriptures. So what I'm trying to tell you is that the what I'm trying to tell you in this video, it is coming straight away from Taitterya Upanishad. It is the Upanishad which talks about the five sheaths in which this world is present. So I hope that you are excited to know about what I have understood, and you will also, if you spare some time, alone time, and if you give it some time, then you will also realize the value of this teaching, the import of this teaching. So here we go. Let's start. Now, as I mentioned before, that we go to work, we live our life, whatever we are doing, in whichever industry we are serving professionally, or whatever we are studying in life, and the friends that we have, the parents, the people that we have around, the things that we deal with, the objects that we interact with, all the this comprises of the world that we think that we are living in, right? So this is one of the five sheets that we are living in. There are four other, mind you, four other sheets which are there, in which we also live in those sheets, but we are unaware of that. So let me start by, this is the sheet that we live in. This, according to Taitterya Upanishad, this sheet is known as Annamaya Kosh, the world that we live in. Annamaya, sorry for the handwriting. Kosh. Kosh, the meaning of Kosh is sheath, or the layers, or the spheres. These koshas are what I'm trying to tell you in this video. What I'm trying to tell you in this video. So, Annamaya Kosh is the outer world. The outer world. Right? So, Annamaya Kosh is where we live. When we open our eyes to the world, when we are awake, then we open our eyes to the visible world that we see, which comprises of the material, the things that the eyes can capture. We can also see our body, right? The body is also Annamaya Kosh. What is the meaning of Annamaya Kosh? Anna means food. It means food. So all the world that is, we know that this world is coming out from the earth, the sunlight and the earth, the food that comes to us, the human beings, that is the source of energy. And due to this food, by taking the food in the body, the human is able to do things in the world and produce things in the world. And that is why this world that has come up is known as Annamaya Kosh. This visible world, this whole world, any kind of material. You take the example of a building or any object, like let's say food. So all any object and any and every object that has come is because of the human being, and human being is taking in food, and that is why he's able to get the energy to make things, to construct things, to bring things into existence. So this Annamaya Kosh is the food kosh. Now we all have the experience of living in this world, but do you appreciate that sometimes when we are alone, when we are away, we are cut off from the visible world. At that time, we are not living particularly in the Annamaya Kosh, the visible world, but a lot of things go on in our own mind. We are thinking about things. We are drawing parallels between the two incidences that happened in the day. We are constantly we have moods which vary with time. So everything that is going on, that is inside us, this is also a world that we are living in, is it not? So this is also the world in which we live, but we do not appreciate that world because it is very hard to identify this world. So the next sheath that we live in, this is known as Pranmay Kosh. Pranmay Kosh. So pran means the breath. We are constantly breathing. We are breathing in, breathing out. We are doing this almost unconsciously. But when we live in the world, when we live in the outer world, then this breath goes unnoticed. And that is why this world is also, it is there within us, the world of the breath. Our breath is sometimes slow, sometimes fast, sometimes we are panting, sometimes we are breathing slowly. But we do not appreciate this world because we are constantly identified with the Annamaya Kosh. We are living in the external world, the world of things. And that is why the inner layer, this Pranmaya Kosh, goes unnoticed. So you must have come across many meditation videos, the videos that talk about meditation. They talk about how to control the breath, how to do what is known as pranayam. So that is something which is there to take you inside the other world, from the outer world to the inner world. And this is what pranmaya kosh means, the world of breath. Okay. So the point that I want to mention here is that uh, often with the breath, it is told to you that you control the breath. You sometimes do slow breathing consciously, and sometimes breathe fast consciously. But actually, the true meditation, which involves pranamaya kosh, that is not about controlling the breath, but watching the breath. So you basically, to enter into any world, you need to watch. So when you are in Annamaya Kosh, normally when we are in Annamaya Kosh, we are always watching the world, aren't we? We are watching the food that we eat. We are watching the movie. We are watching the party, or we are watching anything. We are watching it, right? So why do not watch in this Kosh also? So we have to watch the breath. We don't have to control the breath. Anyway, you cannot control anything without having a witness to something. So this is the pranmaya kosh, when you watch the breath. So sometimes, many a times, you must be given an advice by the spiritual teachers that when you are angry, or when you are full of emotions, when you are excited, when you are dull, in those times when the moods take over our life, at that time, if you watch the breath, then you will suddenly come out of those commotions, those turmoils, and you will suddenly find a bliss or a peace which you wouldn't have found if you had not watched the breath. So breath is basically to the neutralizing agent. It is a neutralizing agent. Sorry for the bad handwriting. Neutralizing agent. right? So it neutralizes. So pranamaya kosh is inside the annamaya kosh. Because why it is inside? Because it is subtler. It is not directly perceivable as compared to annamaya kosh. Okay. Now going even deeper, we find that we have a manamaya kosh. Manomaya kosh. Manomaya kosh. So this is what is known as mind. Now, it must be a common experience for you that when you're living in the world, when you are doing your activities in the world, you are not connected very much with the mind, with the inner mind. What is mind? It comprises of thoughts, what we think, our emotions, our moods. So apart from that, we have an attitude, we have opinions, we have uh, set patterns in our mind, what we have done in the past. So these patterns are what comprises of the manomaya kosh, the training that you have got throughout your life, right? So this is the manomaya kosh. Now this is very this is something that puts you in illusion. Why? Because whenever you are thinking, whenever you're lost in the mind, then you're disconnected from annamaya kosh. You're disconnected from the breath, the pranamaya kosh, and you're purely dwelling in the mind, which is the root cause of all the suffering. Root cause of suffering, right? Because whenever you're lost in the mind, then you're disconnected from the reality. You have a subjective world inside you, but it is very abstract, it is very clustered, so you are not able to see the things as they are. So this is why this kosh is something which is to be avoided. And why it is to be avoided, you might say that, oh, I should listen to my mind. Why should I avoid listening to my mind? I'm not talking about the intellect, which is the fourth sheath. This is the fourth sheath. This is called sorry, I'm sorry. This is called Vigyanmay Kosh. Just a moment. This is called Vigyanmay Kosh. Right? So Vigyanmay Kosh is basically intellect. Intellect. Now, we think that we need mind. We need so what basically what is intellect? Intellect is all the things that you have studied in the past, the mathematics that you have studied, the knowledge that you know that you have got about the world, the kind of specific knowledge that you have got about something of the world. That is what is intellect. Plus, intellect is also about discrimination. Intellect is about discrimination, right? We know that we cannot do everything in the world, so we choose what we do in the world. So that is telling right from the wrong. That is called discrimination. So intellect is something which is very helpful in dealing with the things in the life, and to do things in the proper manner, to figure out a way in the life. So that is that is the role of intellect in the life. But what the problem is that we are always guided by the mind, and that is why we suffer a lot. So for example, you go to a restaurant. Now you have a menu card in front of you. Now your mind will tell you a lot of things, that I want to have this also, this also, this also. But your intellect will tell you that no, you have a constraint of time, money. You are you are in the vicinity of the friends that you have gone to the restaurant with. So this intellect, this helps you narrow down the options. Mind is about always telling you all the things in the world, and not even clearly. Mind doesn't tell you clearly what the all the infinite things that it thinks about. It is very clustered, it is very abstract, it is very obscure. So intellect is something which points out, it sharpens the things of the mind and presents to you the options in a very discrete manner. Are you able to relate to that? So when you go to the restaurant, you know that you can order three things. Where does this three things out of the infinite things that go on in the mind? Where do they come from? They come from the intellect. So in all the matters of the life, intellect plays a very important role. But this is something which is very dull in most of the people. All the people are all the everybody is always thinking from the mind, and mind is very abstract. So this is the world in which you take decisions based on discrimination. You tell right from the wrong. You tell that this is more prior, on the basis of priority, this is more important than the other things. So this is how the intellect plays the role. So are you getting this so far? I hope you do. Now the fifth sheath is Anandmay Kosh. Anandmay Kosh. Now what is this sheath? This sheath is about bliss, the joy in every, the joy that you receive when you are just being. You are not acting out of any other emotion, or you're not acting out of the worldly things. You are just peaceful, you are just joyful. For example, when you are sitting in the company of your good friends, then you are laughing, and you are just laughing without any reason. That is the kind of joy that Anandmay Kosh is all about. It is about mindlessness, but at the same time, it is also about the existential happiness that you get. This is the Anandmay Kosh. Now, Anandmay Kosh is actually it is very short. It is of short duration, because in the worldly affairs, you're always clinging to things. You're always messed up in the worldly affairs. That is why this Kosh is something which is hidden from most of us. Again, because it is very. It happens only when you have, how to say, when you have understood the basics of life, when you understand the principles of life, then you are always happy. You are not stressed out. You are not burdened. This is the Anandmay Kosh, right? So these are the five sheets that this video talks about. Now there's more to this. It is a very I've just touched on the surface of the basic framework I've just laid out in front of you, but it has a lot of things which need to be told, which needs to be appreciated, things that you can relate to your life experiences. So this I will cover in the next video. So just stay with this framework. You can also Google it out. Just type out Panch Koshas, Panch Koshas, and you will get the information about this, what I've just told you, and you will get more clarity when you Google it out. And just stay tuned for the next video, in which I'll be talking about the subtle things that are true regarding these koshas, and how we can find out how to navigate through the life with by understanding deeper in a deeper manner about these koshas. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and just stay tuned, and please like and subscribe to my channel. Like this video and subscribe to my channel if you like the videos. So thank you.